exist within one timeline, but it's far from the only one available to you. All around you, countless alternate realities hum quietly just beyond your perception, vibrating in infinite variations, each waiting patiently to be experienced. Yet most people find themselves trapped in a repetitive cycle, reliving the same patterns, encountering the same obstacles, and feeling the same frustrations, wondering why their lives never seem to change, even though they yearn for something more. It's time to break through this illusion. You aren't stuck because of fate or bad luck, nor is it some grand cosmic punishment or destiny holding you back. The real reason is that your entire system, mind, body, emotions, and energy, is still tuned into an outdated frequency, an old timeline that no longer serves you. Simply wishing for change won't free you. Pushing harder won't break the cycle. And pretending everything is different won't fool the subtle quantum field that governs reality. True quantum transformation isn't about manifesting by sheer force of will. It's about embodying a completely new state of being so fully and consistently that the universe has no choice but to reflect a different reality back to you. Let me clarify. Many believe that manifestation hinges on desire, the idea that wanting something intensely will cause the universe to deliver it. But that's only half the story. The quantum realm doesn't respond to desire alone. It reacts to your alignment, the degree to which your entire being resonates with the frequency of the change you seek. This means that even if you're reciting affirmations, creating vision boards, or visualizing your goals, you might still be broadcasting the signal of your old timeline. Why? Because beneath the surface, your body and nervous system are conditioned to the familiar. Old emotional patterns, fear, doubt, scarcity, remain deeply wired in your subconscious. So while your conscious mind screams, "I want success, love, abundance," your deeper self is vibrating something quite different. Here's a crucial point. The quantum field responds to the dominant signal, not the loudest one. That means it listens to the overall vibration of your entire being, not just your thoughts or words. You can say, "I am wealthy," 1,000 times, but if every time you pay a bill your body tightens with anxiety, the field picks up on that contraction instead of your affirmation. You might visualize romantic connection endlessly, but if your heart remains guarded and closed off, the quantum field senses isolation rather than love. This mismatch is what keeps people stuck on the same timeline. They assume change comes from external shifts, new circumstances, actions, or outcomes. But the real shift starts internally. It's about your state of being, your coherence, your alignment with the reality you want to live. You must become the version of yourself who already inhabits that desired timeline. Not someday in the future, but right now. Here's where things get fascinating. Quantum physics shows that all possibilities coexist simultaneously within a field of infinite potential. Every path, every version of you, every imaginable outcome already exists, vibrating somewhere in this quantum soup. When you shift your vibration, you're not creating something from thin air. You're collapsing into a version of reality that's been waiting for you all along. This is why so many spiritual teachers, inventors, and visionaries have emphasized the power of frequency, numbers, and codes. Nikola Tesla once said, "If you only knew the magnificence of 3, 6, and 9, you would have the key to the universe." These aren't just mystical numbers. They point to universal patterns and harmonics that govern how reality organizes itself around vibration. So instead of asking, "How do I get what I want?" ask yourself, "Who do I need to become vibrationally to match the timeline where my desire already exists?" Becoming that person isn't about faking it or putting on a performance. It's a deep, whole being transformation, mind, body, and soul, moving into coherence. This is the heart of quantum shift. You're not here to wrestle with or resist the old timeline. You're here to rise into the frequency of a new reality. But before diving into the how, pause and reflect. Which version of you has been making your choices today? Which timeline have you been feeding with your attention, your energy, your focus? Are you truly ready to release that version and step into something new? Sit with these questions. Feel their weight inside you. Because what comes next will explore the invisible forces that keep you locked in repetitive loops, the subconscious patterns, emotional imprints, and resistance that silently sabotage your shift. This is the part that most people never talk about. It's the hidden reason why so many understand the theory of quantum manifestation but never actually transform. Ready to uncover it? Let's get real. People don't fail to shift because they're lazy or lack desire. They don't fail because they're doing it wrong. The truth is, they're still tangled up with an old self, a version programmed to survive the outdated timeline. That old self, while limiting, is familiar and comfortable. The subconscious mind craves the known far more than it craves progress or growth. The old timeline doesn't need your permission to keep running. It just needs your participation. Every time you react the same way, repeat the same story, or expect the same outcome, you reinforce that signal. It's like a worn groove in your brain. A neural pathway so deep it's almost automatic. At some point, you stop choosing your timeline. Instead, your timeline is choosing you. Here's where science gets intriguing. Quantum mechanics reveals that the act of observation collapses infinite potential into a single reality. Your consciousness, the observer, has immense power. But there's a catch. If your subconscious remains locked in the past, your observations keep collapsing into the same old patterns. To truly shift timelines, your inner world must change first. You must realign your entire system, mental, emotional, physical, and energetic, to resonate with your new reality. This isn't a quick fix or a magic trick. It's a deep, ongoing process of rewiring your beliefs, healing emotional wounds, and embodying a new frequency until it becomes your dominant state. When your vibration fully shifts, the universe responds instantly by mirroring that change in your external world. You begin to experience new opportunities, relationships, and outcomes that previously felt out of reach. This is the true power of quantum manifestation. Not forcing reality to bend to your will, but becoming the magnetic force that naturally attracts a different version of existence. So ask yourself, are you ready to step out of the old timeline and fully embody a new one? Are you willing to face the invisible resistance within and reprogram your entire system to align with your highest potential? Because the moment you do, you don't just change your life. You collapse infinite possibilities into the one you were always meant to live. Remember, this journey isn't about striving harder or chasing desires blindly. It's about a profound inner transformation that rewrites the energetic code of who you are. The quantum realm waits patiently, ready to reveal the vastness of your potential once you align vibrationally with the reality you choose to inhabit. You're not just taking in the world through your eyes. You're perceiving it through your beliefs, emotions, and expectations, all of which shape your reality far more than you realize. Add to this the lens of neuroscience, which tells us that a staggering 95% of your behaviors are driven by your subconscious mind, the part of you holding all your emotional baggage, traumas, ingrained beliefs, and identity patterns. What this means is that most of the time, it's not your conscious, aware mind that's shaping your reality. It's the deep programmed patterns of your subconscious doing the heavy lifting. This is a crucial insight to grasp. You're attempting to manifest from the small, aware slice of yourself, while the vast majority, your subconscious, is still running fear, scarcity, distrust, and survival modes. The quantum field, in turn, responds to whatever signal is dominant in your system. So when people say manifestation isn't working, what they're really saying is, I haven't shifted the inner observer who's collapsing my reality yet. This explains why people get stuck in loops. You might change your job, your relationship, or even your location, only to find yourself trapped in the same emotional cycles. External changes alone can't override an internal frequency that's still locked in the past. Simply put, your timeline won't shift until the observer inside you does. So what exactly keeps you anchored to that old timeline? More often than not, it's resistance. And resistance is a master of disguise. It can appear as endless overthinking, procrastination, emotional numbness, or hyperactivity. Sometimes it masquerades as cold, hard logic, or that nagging inner voice telling you to be realistic. But at its core, resistance boils down to one fundamental belief: that it's safer to stay in your current, uncomfortable place than to leap into the unknown. And that belief doesn't just float in your head, it lives in your body. Stored trauma, suppressed emotions, fears passed down through generations, all encoded deep into your nervous system. This is why you can intellectually understand what you need to do, but still find yourself unable to live it. It's also why affirmations feel hollow, visualizations fade, and old patterns keep pulling you back. The resistance isn't just a mental roadblock, it's a chemical one. When your nervous system is dysregulated, it sends signals of threat to the quantum field. Even if your lips say, "I'm ready," your body screams something very different. This contradiction keeps collapsing the same limited realities again and again. And this isn't personal, it's physics. Nikola Tesla famously said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." He wasn't speaking metaphorically, he was speaking literally. Your life, your very existence, is a frequency. Your thoughts, your feelings, the way you carry yourself, the rhythm of your breath, all these form a vibrational pattern. That pattern either draws you toward the timeline you desire or pushes it away. This is why so many are drawn to certain numbers like 3, 6, and 9, or fascinated by sacred geometry. They intuitively recognize that the universe communicates through patterns and vibrations, not random chaos. You are far more than a person navigating life. You are a frequency generator existing within a responsive quantum field. And if you've been sending out the same signals for years, you've started to mistake those patterns for your identity. But here's the silver lining. You don't have to battle those patterns. You simply need to stop reinforcing them. Consider this. Where in your life are you still vibrating fear, even while you say you have faith? Where do you brace for rejection when you're seeking connection? Where do you desire abundance but feel undeserving deep down? These subtle conflicts keep your timeline locked in place. Next, we'll explore what it truly takes to shift timelines, not as an abstract concept, but as a grounded, felt practice. You'll learn how to synchronize your conscious and subconscious minds, regulate your nervous system for coherence, and begin showing up as the version of yourself who already lives the reality you want. But before we move forward, I want to invite you into something genuine. If you've been sensing a shift, if part of you is waking up to your own power, then stay with this journey, engage with this space, grow alongside us, and in the comments, share a single word that represents the loop you're ready to break. Fear, scarcity, silence, whatever it is, name it, not for me, but for yourself. Because naming the loop is the very first step toward dissolving it. Now, let's reach the part most people never fully grasp, not because it's hidden, but because it's so straightforward that it often gets overlooked. Shifting timelines isn't about forcing the quantum field to bend to your will. It's about becoming so aligned with the version of yourself who already exists in that new reality that the old timeline simply cannot hold you anymore. Imagine the quantum field as an immense ocean of possibility. Every timeline, every potential version of you, every outcome you can think of already exists as waves in that ocean. When you focus your attention, when you observe, when you truly align, you collapse one of those waves into your experience. But here's the catch. You don't collapse the wave by just wanting it. You collapse it by matching it. And matching isn't something you do only with your mind. It's an emotional, physical, and vibrational process. It's the hum of your entire being vibrating in coherence. So why do so many people struggle to match the new timeline? Because they try to get there by thinking about it. They intellectualize the shift. I know abundance is real. I know love is possible. I know healing can happen. But knowledge alone isn't enough. Your body has to know. Your feelings have to know. Your breath, your posture, your habits, and your very identity all need to broadcast the message. I am now the version of myself who belongs in this new timeline. This is where embodiment comes into play. Embodiment isn't just a trendy buzzword, it's the missing piece of the puzzle. It's the practice of fully inhabiting the frequency you want before the outer world even grants you permission. Let me illustrate. If you're shifting into an abundance timeline, embodiment might look like spending money with a sense of trust rather than panic. It could mean breathing into your body when the fear of not enough surfaces, instead of shrinking back into anxiety. It might be showing up at opportunities with openness rather than bracing yourself for disappointment. If you're moving toward a love-filled timeline, embodiment means softening your heart even when you're tempted to shut down. This is no superficial game. It's a deep rewiring of your entire system, from the chemicals in your brain to the patterns stored in your muscles. It's showing up consistently as that new version of yourself, even when the outside world hasn't caught up yet. Because the truth is, the quantum field doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to who you are in every cell of your being. So the real question isn't how to get what you want, but who you need to become in order to vibrate in harmony with the timeline where your desires already exist. This journey requires courage, the courage to face resistance, the courage to feel uncomfortable, the courage to sit with yourself through uncertainty. But the reward is profound. When your whole system aligns, your reality shifts effortlessly, reflecting the new you back to you. In essence, your reality is not a fixed destination, but a dynamic dance of frequencies, where your inner state governs the outer world. To step into a new timeline, you must first step fully into the new version of yourself, embodied, coherent, and aligned. Only then will the old story lose its grip and the life you long for come rushing toward you, not as a distant dream, but as your present experience. Shifting into a new timeline often calls for stepping beyond your comfort zone, embracing emotional risks, and allowing yourself to be vulnerable, even when old wounds urge you to retreat and hide. If you're moving toward a timeline of better health, embodiment means treating your body as if it's already on the path to healing and renewal, nourishing it with respect, moving it with gratitude, and resting it with care and love. The key here is recognizing a simple but profound pattern. You don't wait for your reality to change before you start living differently. Instead, you begin living differently now, and through that change, your timeline begins to shift. This insight explains why so many manifestation efforts fall short. They are conditional. People say, "I'll feel grateful once I get the job," or "I'll relax only after I find the right relationship," or "I'll embrace abundance when the money finally shows up." But the quantum field doesn't operate on conditions or delays. It isn't testing you or withholding your desires as punishment. It simply reflects your current energetic state immediately. Reflection is instantaneous, not something that arrives after a waiting period. Returning to Nikola Tesla's wisdom about the significance of the numbers 3, 6, and 9, and the universal patterns embedded in reality, reminds us that life is fundamentally organized by energy and frequency, not effort or willpower. So the real challenge becomes, can you achieve coherence? Can you align your mind, heart, body, and actions, even if your outer circumstances haven't shifted yet? Can you sustain that vibration long enough for the quantum wave to collapse into your new reality? Here lies a paradox that rarely gets spoken about. Your timeline doesn't change when you grow weary of waiting. Instead, it changes when waiting ceases to be part of your vibrational makeup. Pause and let that sink in. This is the essence of the quantum code. The version of you who already possesses what you desire exists vibrationally right now. You simply have to tune into that frequency. Before moving ahead, consider this deeply. What would your day look like if you acted, breathed, and moved as the version of yourself who already inhabits the life you want? What small decisions would shift? What emotional patterns would loosen their grip? What conversations would begin or end? This isn't about sweeping, dramatic gestures. It's about subtle, persistent alignment in everyday moments. The next step in this journey is about transforming these insights into lived experience. How to move beyond endlessly consuming information and actually start living the shift one moment at a time. Are you ready to fully embody the timeline you've been chasing? Because the only practice that truly matters is the one you consistently live. In today's world, it's easy to drown in knowledge. Watching countless manifestation videos, absorbing techniques, collecting advice. But without integration, all that consumption remains just noise. Why? Because progress only manifests when your body, breath, and actions begin to mirror the insights you've gained. So how do you bring this quantum shift into your daily life? It begins with understanding the power of micro-alignment. Most people assume shifting timelines requires huge, sweeping changes. But quantum reality responds not to the size of your actions, but to the coherence behind them. A small, intentional act, done with alignment, can carry more vibrational weight than a frantic, desperate, grand gesture. Let's put this into practical terms. If you're moving toward abundance, your practice might be as simple as taking a deep, calming breath when scarcity thoughts rise, rather than spiraling into fear. It could involve acknowledging the resources you already have and amplifying the message, "I have enough." Spending money from a place of presence and trust, instead of panic or guilt, becomes an act of alignment. If love is your focus, embodiment might mean opening your posture when you feel the urge to shrink away. It might mean reaching out with kindness instead of retreating into protective isolation, or voicing affection even when vulnerability feels uncomfortable. For those shifting toward better health, it could look like tuning into the subtle sensations of vitality already humming in your body. Choosing foods, movement, and rest out of respect for your body rather than punishment. Catching your inner critical voice and gently steering it toward encouragement. These small, seemingly ordinary acts are quantum keys. They send a clear message to the universe. This is who I am now. Not a future version, but the person I've consciously decided to be today. But here's what most people miss. This practice isn't about perfection. You will stumble. You'll slip back into old patterns, thoughts, and feelings from the outdated timeline. This doesn't mean failure. It means you're human and alive. The true power lies not in never falling, but in how quickly and compassionately you return to your new frequency. Each time you catch yourself drifting into the old way and gently realign, you strengthen the new timeline. Each pause, each breath, each choice for coherence over chaos deepens your transformation. Every moment you act as though your new reality is already true. Even when your external world hasn't caught up yet, you collapse the quantum wave into existence. This is the beautiful dance of quantum embodiment. Now, about tools. Some people find that practices like breathwork, meditation, or visualization help tune their system into the new frequency. Others resonate with sacred symbols, meaningful numbers like 369 or 777, or specific sound frequencies. These aren't magical shortcuts, they're anchors. They help the subconscious mind internalize the message, I am aligned with the new reality. But no tool alone can create change without your active participation. You can't outsource your shift to a ritual. Rituals only work because you do the inner work. So here's your invitation for today. Identify one pattern from your old timeline that you're ready to disrupt. Then choose one small, concrete action that embodies your new timeline. Commit to practicing that action with full presence, sincerity, and love. Maybe it's pausing for 3 conscious breaths before reacting. Maybe it's saying one sentence from your future self, not your fearful self. Or perhaps it's sitting quietly and visualizing yourself surrounded by the vibration of your desired reality. It's not about what you do, but how you do it. The quantum doesn't need time to catch up. It responds instantly. As you engage in this practice, remember you're not alone in this process. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a ripple in the quantum ocean, moving you closer to the life you're ready to live. You're part of a larger awakening, a collective of souls beginning to recognize their innate creative power and learning to move in harmony with the subtle energies around them. This space you're in right now, this channel, is designed to support and guide you on that journey. Before we dive into the final phase, the one where we explore how to sustain your transformation and fully inhabit your new timeline, I want to invite you to stay connected. If something here has sparked a sense of possibility within you, consider subscribing. Stay close to this community and these conversations, because that connection can be a powerful anchor as you navigate the shifts ahead. And in the comments, share one simple action you're committing to today, something that grounds you in your new reality. It might be a single word like breathe, trust, or open. Your word matters. Your choice matters, because you matter. Now, here we are at the culminating step of this journey together. You've explored the science, the energetic dynamics, the layers of your subconscious, and the embodied practices needed to step into a new way of being. But this next step, the one that often separates those who truly transform from those who only dabble, is about sustaining the shift. See, the quantum field doesn't care if you visit the new timeline briefly. It rearranges itself around you only when you choose to live there consistently. Most people approach manifestation like a one-time event. They visualize, affirm, journal, and then wait. When the desired results don't appear immediately, they fall right back into their old patterns, unaware that real magic lies in persistence, the art of staying. Sustainability is the master key to the quantum shift. But let me be clear, this doesn't mean forcing yourself to feel good all the time or pretending everything's fine when it's not. It's not about glossing over challenges or faking a high vibration. Instead, it's about building the emotional and energetic resilience to return, again and again, to alignment with your true self. Every time you wobble and come back, you make your new frequency stronger. Every time you recognize an old loop tugging at you and consciously choose to lean into the new timeline, you reinforce the shift. Every time you act, speak, breathe, and make decisions as if you already inhabit your desired reality, the hold of the old timeline loosens. This isn't punishment or struggle. This is mastery. You are learning to become the quantum signal, the vibration that collapses the wave, not sporadically or when it's convenient, but as your way of life. Here's a straightforward roadmap to guide you. Start with daily awareness. Begin your mornings not by diving into your to-do list, but by tuning in. Ask yourself, what frequency am I bringing into today? Are you stepping forward with fear or trust? Are you expecting obstacles or flow? Set this intention before your feet even touch the floor. Next comes embodied action. Throughout your day, practice micro-alignments. Pay attention to when your behaviors align with your desired reality and when they don't. If abundance is your goal, are you operating from generosity or scarcity? If love is what you want, are you opening your heart or putting up walls? If health is your focus, are you nurturing your body or neglecting its needs? Small, consistent shifts carry more weight in the quantum than rare, dramatic leaps. Then there's emotional regulation. You will get triggered. Doubt will surface. This is part of being human. The strength lies not in avoiding these moments, but in how you return from them. Breathe deeply, ground yourself, and reconnect with the version of you who already knows. This is who I am now. Surround yourself with community and symbols that support your chosen path. Mantras, sacred images, or meaningful numbers like 369 or 777. These act as anchors, reinforcing your alignment. Let your environment become a partner in your transformation, not a distraction. And finally, gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful amplifier of your energetic coherence. It's the emotional signal that says, I already have. When you practice genuine gratitude, you communicate to the quantum field that you are receptive, whole, and aligned. This accelerates the manifestation of your desired timeline. Remember, you're not doing this to arrive somewhere else. You are doing this because this moment, this state of being, is the destination. You're not chasing a timeline. You're becoming it. Thank you for journeying with me. You are not the same person who started watching this. You are vibrating on a slightly different frequency, carrying a new awareness and possibility within you. The real magic isn't in memorizing these ideas, it's in what you do next. So here's my invitation. No pressure, no checklist, just a living, breathing call to action. Within the next 24 hours, surprise yourself. Take one step, just one, that belongs to the version of you living fully in your desired timeline. It could be a choice, a gesture, a conversation, or a quiet internal shift in your mind or heart. It doesn't have to be big. It only needs to be authentic. And when you take that step, know this: you are no longer waiting for change. You are embodying it. If this message has moved you, I'd love for you to subscribe. Not because you're just following a channel, but because you're choosing to be part of a space where awakening and raising vibration are the norms. Thank you for showing up, for sharing your energy, and for daring to be more of who you truly are. Keep going, keep choosing, keep surprising yourself. Because every time you do, the quantum field responds in kind.